when we did Miracle Money, why it was so difficult for these young guys to accept it. The young people, in age, in the spirit, they are very lightweight. But what they know is how to elucidate words, speak with verbosity. Do you understand? They use a lot of vocabulary that if you are really something with a modicum of knowledge, you'll be vexed. You will get so impressed by their wording of what they are saying and miss that there is no act to support their vocabulary. They just talk. They will pause Kristo ya kilome. Yet Kristo ya kilome will just go to people who are sick and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go home. You couldn't walk for 4 years and you're already walking. Now they come and say, you see, the Lord, when you travel in the spirit, and people who are simpletons in the spirit who look at it and go like, wow, this man is hearing from God. Then they tell you what they do to pray. They say, one time I did 11 hours. Liar, liar, pens on fire. But because their audience want to hear lies. Light came into the world, but because people love darkness, they loved the darkness. They ran away from the light and went to darkness. Recently, someone called me and said, there's a man from South Africa who wants to talk to you. I said, that guy wants to talk to me. He needs to look in the Bible to realize you can't put God in a box. Say, what do you think about this miracle money? Oh, it doesn't exist. I say, hey, so it doesn't exist because you can do it. Imagine. Because when they were journeying in the spirit in prayer, they only traveled 4 seconds. But they did 2 hours in prayer. People were seeing them sitting there 2 hours. I have a bishop just down here. I'm not going to mention where. You do all nights, I'm telling you. You do all nights and you bring a jacket. And you just go to the altar there. You do 15 minutes and just put his jacket. This is all night prayer. The man is gone. He's gone. I'm telling you the truth. And then he had already told his PA, you just stand by me. So the PA will be like, you're going people, moving people. Until 5 a.m. Then you would dismiss the whole prayer night. Say, go home, go home, go home. The bishop is still continuing. After everyone is gone, be like, Baba, you can leave the spirit now. We are where? Meanwhile, this was the spirit of sleeping. So imagine how people want. See, this is why the apostle said, when I came to you, I did not come with excellence of speech, but with the demonstration of power. I didn't come preaching to you miracle money. I demonstrated it. So look at this. This one said this. It came from this. Why is it coming from this? It should come from there. Who are you to put God in a box? So what about the fish? You ask me what about the fish had to find the coin. Which verse are you reading? See, these guys, they talk too much, but never demonstrate it. A person who's not even dead fell and just blood is coming out little small. You say, hey, I raised him from the dead. Do you know dead? Do you know how many graves are there? Go there. Isaiah 9, verse number 16. For the leaders of these people cause them to err. And they that are led of them are destroyed. Do you see now? The leaders, what are they doing? They are leading people astray. If I come here and tell you don't listen to this preacher, then they say, I've led you astray. I can only tell you in this part here, this doctrine is wrong according to what I can see in the Bible. But what I normally preach is to empower you. Never to try and get you off another preacher. The only time I said off a preacher is when they oppose people. Oppose other preachers. That's not the message. You were sent to your people. You're not the prefect. Just a few weeks ago, everyone went on a rampant attacking Apostle Johnson Suleman. Everyone. This one is saying, no, this one is saying this one is saying that. And the funny part of it, they can listen to a small part of a message, carve it out of context. Let's say they had listened to the whole message and they still didn't understand it. And then they come out to oppose their ignorance. Ignorance of law is no excuse. You cannot just move around, just attack someone who has stood for the church and stood for defending preachers everywhere. No matter he did not know no one, he would defend. Then all of a sudden, everyone's like, no, what Johnson Suleman is saying is not correct. Hey. This is not your job. Your job is for your congregation. That's why they remain 200. Because your congregation, you don't know what to tell them. Do you even know the people who are opposing me for miracle money, how many people they have in their church? You don't know. That's why you think they are big. Because they stand there and say things. They are only big on social media. They are real churches. Very small congregation. Why? Because they are preaching to another congregation. That's why their own never grow. You can't grow on social media and you have no work on the ground and still be a man of God. You can be called by God, but you have misused your talents and your giftings and your power. For these leaders of these people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Watch this. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men. Neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer. Every mouth speaketh folly. For all this, his anger is not turned away. Now hear me well. Hear me well. But his hand is stretched out still. What happens? Hear this. For wickedness burneth as a fire. It shall devour the briars and the thorns. No, this fire is from God now. It is burning wickedness. And it's called wicked fire. And it belongs to God. May wicked fire burn the briars and thorns of your enemy. Wicked fire. I know you're not hearing me. I tried this. These people at the back there. I said, may wicked fire burn. Briars and the thorns, and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Hi, why? And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. When fire begins to come, preachers will be against each other. Because there is a wicked fire. One will say this miracle is not real. Why? If it's not real, shut up. Do the real one. I can't. So you have not. Do you know how to study the real thing? Do you know how to study counterfeits? To know what this one is a counterfeit, you need to study the real. Produce the real miracle money. Then you oppose the fake one. You can't do that one. So you give reasons and scriptures that you turn around upside down and abuse so that it means what you want it to mean. So that you oppose it. As if miracle money is all we do here. Do you know? There are people who have been raised from the dead. They are still among us. Extreme miracle. Crazy ones happening here. Why is it happening like this? And you think our only miracle is one. And meanwhile, you have failed all the other ones we have done. By the hand of God. You have failed. Yet the Bible says the miracles of an apostle were wrought among you. Paul says the miracles. That means there are levels of miracles that apostles should do. We have not seen them. We've just seen your mouth utter. And Suleman is producing miracles. And you who says you're an apostle, you're not producing one. But you fight and fight and fight. Someone said, do you see Joseph Suleman was talking about you? We had already discussed. There is someone who is saying this, who is saying this. I said, no, you need to correct it. Maybe you tell your church, you do this. And he tells me, no, there's this. So when you see him say something, we've already discussed something. He doesn't need to run everything he says with me, and I don't need to run everything I say with him. But the reality is, I would know when it's against me. And if you're waiting for Johnson, Suleimani, and Angel to be enemies, you die.